Mr. Skakani. Thank you, Chair. JP, we were on page 1208.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, honorable members of the panel. SC, yes, we're at page 1208 at 2231, against the background that I have been complimented as handsome twice within a short space of time, and I had shared a video of a couple that's ostensibly cuddling or caressing. As far as I see it, they are wearing clothes in any event, but then all of a sudden at page 1206 ndisemondi kungangcono sijongane, then it is against that background at 1208 that a question is posed. You reckon kungancazelwana this week, and then there's an emoji.
And the time there, JP?
Is 2231.
Thank you.
Ukuncazelana is sharing something. Ukuncazelana, I want to defer to superior wisdom. You reckon kungancazelwana na this week. In other words, you reckon that we can be intimate with one another this week within the context of ukuncazelana, which figuratively means, well, sorry, literally it means sharing, but figuratively it goes beyond that. I defer to superior wisdom in terms of how I've interpreted it.
I do believe, Chair, with your permission, previously the interpretation or / translation of it was indeed on the intimate words. Do you reckon we could be intimate this weekend?
Well, during this week, which is during that particular week when she was in East London. So then at 2231, a meme is sent. I can't remember what it was about. And then at 2232, I also exchange a meme within the context of being playful. And then at 2232, I ask Sandy Buzanje, I'm just asking whether we can be intimate. So the question is contextually whether when she has proposed on her own, out of the blue, after she had complimented me, this invitation, let's meet face to face. Then I say, Sandy Buzanje, I'm just asking. Then at 2233, the response is in Ndumiso 1 verse 1, just the first word, Xhosa Bible, ibeka kakuhle. She says, if you were to read Psalm 1 verse 1, just the first word, it puts it clearly.
Can I interpret some? Thank you.
The direct translation of the word on Psalm 1 verse 1 is a Xhosa version. Hai means no. That is the direct translation.
Yes.
So the question is posed. Now that you are saying you'll be in East London, could we then be intimate with one another? Pertinent question. I'm referred to Psalm 1 verse 1. Then I say, please remind me. Then that is at 22. So I'm at page 1209. At 2233, then at that time I also says, Itini, please remind me. And then...
Sorry?
The word itini, what does it say?
Thank you. And then at 2234, kanti bendifuna uyiguglishe uyityhile. I would have loved you to Google it or peruse the Bible itself.
I would have liked you to peruse or page it in the Bible itself.
So my response to ascertain the room, I say, as far as I can remember, in spite of the fact that she has referred to the Xhosa Bible, I then say, but as far as I can remember, this verse in and by itself is something like this: blessed are those who do not associate themselves with evildoers. So that's why at 2234 I say not associating one with evildoers with evildoers. Then
JP, I think we must pause. pause there. I think it was a point during testimony what the meaning of this text, biblical text, is, and some emphasis was given to the fact that in the Xhosa version, the I is one of those no's, famous no's.
Yes.
Could you please
I've
just
got
take the
three
tribunal
things to say in relation to I, and more in particular because at page 1210, at 2236, HAYI, she says hi. In other words, you reckon we can be intimate this week? Then the answer is no.
What did you understand by that no? Because now we know you say it's a no.
Within the context of what was happening, I understood it plainly to mean that no, let us not be intimate on this occasion. Let's just meet face to face.
What do you say to the interpretation that this is one of those highs, those no's that mean stop it?
Out of context.
Explain.
I mean, the question is quite pertinent. You reckon we can be intimate this week because you are here in East London? She has introduced herself as being in East London. You reckon we can be intimate? Remember, we have been this flirtatious about sensual things previously from either party.
Thank you, JP.
And this is contextual. Aye. And this is my understanding that she was saying, let us not be intimate this week. Let's just meet face to face.
Thank you. You may proceed, JP.
So, at 2235, there is Aibo. That Aibo is in response to, as far as I can remember this verse, it's about one not associating oneself with evildoers.
What time are you now?
2235 at 1209.
Thank you.
Then there's an ear, and then I say, Cacisa, explain. Aye. And then at 1210, I remind her at 2237 that she said, it can be tomorrow or the other day. I'm asking Indumiso 1 verse 1, then I'm saying Dichoyona, I'm referring exactly to that verse. Then she explains what this high is about.
Well, some of the translations are common cause, are things that we've traversed. So we're just doing them on issues that we think we're emphasizing, but I think they have been interpreted during the evidence in chief. So sometimes we will leave them because they are uncontroversial and they're not open to further questions or misinterpretations.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair.
So, Council, my direct answer is this high about which some people tend to dance and scatter around is very, very contextual and it's pertinent. I am saying, let's not be intimate. Let's just meet face to face during the course of this week. But then I say so because at 2238, she explains herself by saying, Sijongane, not Ngazelana. No, I would like us to meet face to face and not be intimate. Come 2238, what if we melt, which is not impossible? The answer is at page 1211. It's a meme. I can't remember now what it was all about, but it evoked laughter from my side, LOL. And then I said, it's not impossible. You are saying let's meet face to face, but within the context of that invitation for us to meet, then I say, what if we melt? And I say, it's not impossible. And then there's that man fending himself at 2241. She responds, and these messages seem to cross one another within seconds. It is impossible. The it is impossible is at 1212. And then something is deleted at 2241. But most importantly, at 2241 at page 1212, she poses a question. So ubila kwangoku kuse Eli.
What does that mean? Let's hear, and we'll get to what did you understand by it.
The direct translation of that, are you already sweating so early? It's a question.
What did you understand by that, JP?
The starting point is my response at 2242. Uyabilisa, question mark. Then I'm going to answer the question pertinently.
Would you cause one to sweat?
Thank you, JP. You can answer my question.
Then that is the context. So the context is from the complainant in an instance where there's this invite for us to meet face to face, which made me ask a pertinent question, which was responded to pertinently. So when we get there, she's the one at 2241 who says, "Zobila kwangoku kuse-early." Remember, I had said, what if we met? And I said, it's not impossible. If we meet face to face, that is what can ensue. Then
is this sweating we're talking about, JP, in the context of what you call to the tribunal sensual
Indeed,
talk?
That is so sensual talk.
Thank you.
Hence, I'm asking, uyabilisa, umenza umntu abile, do you cause somebody to sweat? Then the answer is of significance. 2242, principle, ungandibuzi ithini. Don't ask me. There's a principle in this. Then, in response to that, at 1213.
Sorry, interpreter, you want to say that? Are we still fine, consistent?
We're still fine, very much consistent.
Thank you. All right.
Principle ungandibuzi ithini. Then at 2242, at page 1213, I say, we both know everything. Now, in the context of this flirtatious talk, it is more about, well, we know that if we meet, we might melt, and one thing could then lead to the other. In the context of the invitation for us to meet face to face or meet physically. So then I say at 2242, well, I'll be amenable. Then the response is laughter from her side, 2244. Then I say to her,
JP, when you say you would be amenable to?
Ungandibuzi ithini, in other words, uyabilisa, which is what I had asked at 2242, as a sequel to a statement, so bila kwangoku kuse-early. I was simply saying, I will be flexible, I will do whatever. If we've got to, in spite of what had been said, I'll be flexible, I'll be amenable. And then she laughs at that. And then it is in that context that I say, I was going to give you this. And then she says, I must rephrase that, obviously, because there's a misspelling there.
Can you read that? Yeah.
Bendiza ku HOALE, HALE. Bendiza kupale, which I was trying to say. When she says, please rephrase.
Can I get to the interpreter when you say bendiza kupale? Interpreter. Hello.
I'm saying the spelling itself is incorrect. Bendiza ku HOHA le.
As it stands now, with that spelling mistake, it means what? Nothing.
Nothing.
Thank you.
We've got to give it some meaning, and I'm saying bendiza kupale.
Okay.
Then she says,
let's hear the interpreter.
Bendiza kupale, the director of that translation would be, I was going to give you this.
Thank you, JP. You may proceed.
She then at 2245 says, rephrase. And then 2245, I think the messages may have crossed one another, but what is important is there's a peeled banana there, to which she laughs, and I ask, when I was on Pandon. In other words, I'm saying, I was going to give you something nice. I could have sent a chocolate. I could have sent anything that people, when they meet, would love to share.
Let's hold there, JP. Let's hold there, because there may be people who think that banana means something else. And what do you say to someone who says this banana means?
They know more than I do.
Just hold on.
Sorry.
Hold on. That it means more than you are saying. What did you actually mean?
Let me repeat myself, counsel. It was, I could have sent a chocolate that whose cover has been taken off. I could have shown her an apple, but what I meant was simply that bendiza kupale, I was going to share something nice with you.
So if a suggestion is made that means sex, what would you say?
That's not what I was conveying.
What if someone said you were showing the peeled banana refers to a circumcised male private part?
Yo.
What would you say?
I would have had to study a degree in these things to understand that.
Okay.
I heard that for the first time when Dr. Docrat was testifying, I think. Peeled banana means circumcised penis or this and that.
Yes.
I don't know those things.
Okay.
But as I say, I was simply saying, when we meet, I was just going to share something nice with you. I mean, in the context of two people eating from the same plate, as a matter of example, I could have sent a chocolate to say I was going to give you this. I could have shown anything that is nice or enjoyable. But clearly, it has got nothing to do with any penis, at least from my side. She laughs at that at 22:45. Then I ask her, when I was on Pandon, what were you going to give to me?
What page are we now, JP? 1214.
We are still at 1213.
1213.
22:45. Ubuza on Pandoni, when, what were you going to give to me in return? Then she says, Honorable member, don't do that. Honorable member, don't do that. This is a meme. And then I also respond 22:46. I say, ew. In this context, the parties were being playful with one another or towards one another.
Explain that, JP.
Come again.
Explain that being
I
playful
say so
about
because
what?
if I say to somebody I was going to share a banana with you, what were you going to give to me? After she laughs, then she says, Honorable member, don't do that. That's playful talk for me. In other words, don't ask me that. Don't ask me what I was going to share in return. That was my understanding.
Okay, JP.
Then I'm also saying, in the context of this meme, this is a meme. This is what it is. And I respond by way of a meme. And then at 22:47, I then say something like, I don't understand now what is happening. Where I say 22:47, I'm not quite clear. And then at 22:48,
sorry, JP, what do you mean?
what I couldn't understand is when I say, when we talk about meeting physically, face to face, being suggested by her and not being intimate. And then me saying, look, I was going to share something nice. And then I ask her, what would you then give me in 10? I understood it as being playful because at 22:47, I then have this emoji where I try to say, hey, I don't understand now what it is. But what is important is at 22:48. Ufuna nje ubuhlobo. This is a pertinent question.
Can I stop you right there, JP? Let's not gloss over this. Let me ask you a difficult question because you will be asked it. What do you say to members of the tribunal or somebody who's going to ask you this? Why is this discussion, why is it excised from the context of talking about being intimate? Why does it suddenly become about a fruit? Why does it become innocent? That question is a question I would like you to address.
Yes. I am saying, this is at page 1213, honorable panel members. I was going to share something nice with you in the context of what we were talking about. She laughs at that, and then I ask, you in turn, what would you then give me if we were to meet? Remember, I said I could have shown a chocolate, I could have shown anything nice that one can share when they meet with somebody that they are fancying or mutually being flirtatious with one another. So she laughs at that.
Can I ask you, were you talking about nice in the context of intimacy or flirting?
Nice in the context of flirtation.
Thank you.
Simple flirtation. If you have seen a couple sharing a banana, the one is holding it, the one bites, he or she passes on this same object or this fruit to the other one. They too bite. That is flirtatious, I do concede.
Thank you.
Then I ask when, and then honorable member, don't do that. And then you, but then still I say.
What did you understand by honorable member, don't do that? What did you understand that to mean?
This is a joke that is traversing the whole of the country based on what happens in Parliament from time to time. And in jocular fashion, you will hear people say this, honorable member, in the context of Parliament. We know we're not members of Parliament. At this point in time, I'm not an honorable member as being a member of Parliament. And therefore, this is not literal, it's figurative, the way I see it.
Thank you, JP. You may proceed.
So in any event, I simply say, please tell me now, ufuna nje ubuhlobo? Do you want us to be mere friends?
The direct translation of that line, ufuna nje ubuhlobo, do you just want friendship?
We rush to page 1215. I insist on an answer and she says, azikho impendulo. I don't have an answer. When I say, oh, do you just want mere friendship? The answer at page 1215, at 2251, azikho impendulo. I don't have answers.
I don't have answers, or there are no answers.
So I don't think the mic is picking you up.
It's at this point that it also is said you were being rebuffed.
When somebody says, I don't have an answer to that pertinent question.
Yeah, the expert even said, how many times must a person try to avoid? And you keep persisting.
We must remember that the question I was posing is quite important. So we have reached this point, we've spoken about sensual things, positions when we sleep and all that. And I get to this point where I seek verification. I may be wrong, I just want to establish, is this flirtatious relationship to be mere friendship? In other words, I'm testing the room now. So,
Thank you, JP.
so the answer is azikho impendulo. I don't have an answer to that. It's not a rebuff. That is the first thing. The second thing that I wish to comment on is that when somebody says, in my view, andina mpendulo, I was being led on, because subsequent to that at 2252, she says, I am a person of action, not words. Ndinezenzo kuphela.
Direct translation of ndinezenzo kuphela, I only have actions.
JP, can I take you back a bit so that you're not accused of glossing over certain things?
Thank you.
Can we go back to 12? We are at 1215.
Yes.
Right at the top, at the message of 2248.
Yes.
Could you please deal with that so that
Thank you.
1215?
1215.
It's the very first message. I'm just trying to make sure that you're not accused of glossing over things.
121. Okay, we may meet and just converse without going the intimate route. It is me. It is me. This is my message to her, which I would have sent around 2248. But
Can I ask you? It does have some fruit. And do you?
I don't
What is
join
the
issue. I don't
significance?
join issue with
Okay.
that. Let me explain myself.
Yes.
At 1214, ufuna nje ubuhlobo.
Yes.
This is me asking. Now that, okay, we may meet and just converse without going the intimate route. Indeed, those emojis are sensual from my perspective.
Okay. That's how you interpret it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
JP, you may go back.
I don't run away from
You
that.
can move forward to.
And that is what I would have said.
Just a minute, JP. I'm not sure what comments. I'm not sure what comment you have about this.
Chairperson.
I'm not sure I follow what your comment is about this picture.
Which one?
Top of 1215 or bottom of 1214, if it is the same thing.
It is the same thing indeed, Chairperson.
Yes.
All right. So this is the complainant at the bottom sending a meme. We now don't know what the meme was about. It may have been somebody drinking water or whatever else. But clearly, there she has repeated what I had said. It was me who had said, okay, we may meet and just converse without going the intimate route. So she is actually repeating what I had initially said, where I then say, well, we can meet and converse without necessarily going the intimate route. This is me talking. Now, if you see the 2 ticks at 2248, that is from the complainant. But she is actually, she has pasted what I had said. So my comment is very clear. Okay, we may meet and just converse without going the intimate route. That's me who was saying that. And then as a follow-up to that.
Can we just wait? I think the chairperson
Yeah.
is still waiting.
Yes, but I see, is this 2 pictures? Is it 2 fruits?
Yes, signifying sensual intimacy.
These 2 fruits.
Yes. Those 2 fruits. Now, what I can testify to is when that, okay, we may meet and just converse without going the intimate route. I'm not sure where it is in relation to the conversations. It's probably the one at 2248.
JP, is there a particular reason why your banana is not put there? I'm saying, is there
Because
a particular
I
reason?
understood banana to mean banana in the
Okay.
literal sense.
Thank you.
And counsel, when it comes to those 2 fruits,
Yes.
they signify being sensual, intimately deep, sexual intercourse. I've
Thank
got
you.
no misunderstanding about that. I don't beat about the bush. And it is in the context of a question. I'm saying, okay, we may meet and just converse without going the intimate route.
Thank you. Thank you,
That's
JP.
what I had said earlier on. And then as a follow-up to that,
Just a minute. So it is not an invitation.
come again?
It is not an invitation, or is it an invitation?
No, it's not an invitation. Actually, if I may contextualize it, she's the one who came up with this invitation for us to meet within the context of us having been flirting. And then I then say, can we then, sorry, let me go to it rather. Let me go to it. At 1208, I say when she talks about being in East London, after I've been complimented twice as being handsome, after she had said I make her shy, I'm asking, you reckon we can meet and be intimate at 1208? So she then says, no, let us not be intimate. Let's not meet and be intimate. Let's just meet face to face. I then say, well, what if we melt? I've already addressed the tribunal in relation to what if we melt. And then I've already addressed the tribunal in relation to what I understood high to mean. And I've decided not to be technical about it and say, for instance, in the vernacular language, when somebody says, when you ask them, "Uphilile na? Are you well?" "Hayi siphilile." I don't want to be playing tricks when it comes to that. I'm not here to do that in any event. But what I know is when somebody says "hayi," it does not necessarily mean "hayi" at all instances. But in this context, it was quite pertinent. Do we meet and have and become intimate with one another? The answer is no. Masijongane. Now, there it is at 2238 at page 1210. Sijongane, not ngazelana. Let's meet and just be physical with one another. It is in that context, what if we melt and so on and so forth, which I've already stated. Then this thing about sobila kwangoku.
Can you just do it slowly, JP,
All
again,
right.
that explanation?
All right. Let me go back, Chairperson.
No, don't go back, please.
Yeah.
Alright.
Just pick it up from where you are.
Yeah,
Where
JP,
I
all
was-
I'm saying is you proceed. I'm not saying go back. I'm just saying as you proceed, just take us times and where you are. Yeah.
All right.
Might I just intervene here? I think you just said that may we meet and be physical with one another. I don't think that's what you meant.
Come again.
You just said we will meet and be physical with one another. I think that's not what you meant. Is that correct?
No. Let me repeat myself. So, I have said, you reckon kungancazelwana this week, you reckon we can be intimate this week. The pertinent answer to that is encapsulated at page 1210, 2238. Sijongane, not ncazelana. Let's not be intimate. Let's simply meet physically and let's meet face to face. As a sequel to that, I then say, what if we melt, which is not impossible? We know that led to something else, where when I find myself, she says, so bila kwangoku kuse eli, within the context of one melting or not melting. But what is important now is where we are and where I was asked. 1215. Okay, we may meet and just converse without going the intimate route. This is me talking, Chairperson. We may meet and not converse. So we may meet and just converse without going the intimate route. I own that. That is what I said. And when I look at it, it must have been deleted somewhere, but I suspect it may have been sent around 2248 at page 1214. Hence, I asked, ufuna nje ubuhlobo? Do you want just or mere friendship? The answer there too is at page 1215. Azikho impendulo. I don't have an answer. I am saying that is not a rebuff. It's actually a pertinent answer. Followed up by 2252. Ndinezenzo kuphela. I do actions only. I don't talk about these things. Uyenza qha kubonwe ngoko. Do you merely do living things to shape themselves? Uyenza qha kubonwe ngoko.
Are we still?
Uyenza qha kubonwe ngoko. Do you just do, then we see later?
Thank you.
That is a sequel to 2252 when she says, Ndinezenzo kuphela.
What did you understand that to mean?
I understood that to mean better act than talk. I choose to talk than act. I'm a man of action, or I'm a person of action than just talking.
Thank you.
Within the context, of course, of what we're talking about. Azikho impendulo, ndinezenzo nje kuphela. Then, uyenza qha kubonwe ngoko. This is me asking her at 2252. In no time thereafter, she says, finish. Which means, indeed, ndiyenza qha kubonwe ngoko.
We're now page 1216.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
So there's a pertinent answer from her. When I ask, uyenza qha kubonwe ngoko, against the background that I've asked, oh man, then can we just be mere friends then, lest I misunderstood this whole flirtation? Then it goes back to uyenza qha kubonwe ngoko, and then her response is finish. Then I say at 2252, hey, that's risky. It's risky. We can't just meet physically in circumstances where you say sawubona ngoko. Interpreter.
Sawubona ngoko, we will see then or later.
I am then saying at 2252 at 1216, that is risky. And then I follow that up by saying, but if ucho masibone ngoko, but if you say, we will see then when we meet. In circumstances where I have previously said, well then, we can meet and not be intimate.
Thank you, JP.
So at 2253, ufike laphi? 2254, any privacy?
Meaning?
Ufike laphi, where would you be when you arrive?
Any privacy? 2254, or sawuncokolele office. I don't know. Please let me know.
Can we?
Or sawuncokolela e-officini, will we then converse in an office or have our conversation in an office?
Thank you.
Then the response at 2254 from her, Figelapi, where will we meet? My house. What appears at 1217 is a repetition of what we have already dealt with. Never this, dinezenzo kuphela, I'm a person of action, uyenza qha kubonwe ngoko, finish, risky, and so on and so forth. Up to my house, 2254. And then over at 1218, any privacy? No. Then answer to my question, or sawuncokolelo officing, it would be better if we meet in the office at some point. Then my house, P, where is your house? The answer at 2255 is
Okay.
Cambridge.
Uncontroversial.
My house, the question followed P, which stands for where.
Cambridge, closer to Vincent, where the offices are. 2255. Then something is deleted. What if we are Nyebilikwa? I'm still asking this question. Hey, if we meet and you have said to me, we can meet face to face, whether we melt or not, we will see when we meet. I've already said it is risky if we do that. Then the response at 2255, hayi uzawuzibamba.
Okay, could we get an interpreter for those
What
two?
if kuyanyibilikwa? What if we melt? That's the direct translation.
Yes.
And then later on, after the paragraph JP shared, I uza kuzibamba. No, you will hold yourself or you will contain yourself. That's the direct translation.
Yes. I think we had dealt with what melting means in this
Yes.
essential talk. Yes, thank you.
Thank
May
you.
proceed.
Your previous interpretation was no, you will control yourself.
That is correct, Chair. Hence, I used both now,
Yeah.
control or hold yourself or contain. It's synonyms.
Chair, if I can just come in here, there was a lot of fast testimony here. There was a translation made that the question was Fikila Fi, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Figelapi.
Upon your arrival, where will you be? And when the JP now referred to the reply of the complainant, he translated it to say, where will we meet? That's not correct. Where will we be? And she said, my house. So there's a difference in where will you be and where will we meet?
1217, Chairperson. 1217.
I'm on 1216,
Maybe
Chair.
we can start at 1216. 1216, uyenza qha kubonwe ngoko, do you just do and see things when they shape themselves? Finish. Then I say at 2252, that is risky. But if ucho masibone ngoko, so if you say so, then we will see when we meet. Then I ask, ufikelaphi? Where is your point of arrival? That is the literal meaning of fikelaphi. Where is your point of arrival? Then I say any privacy or sawuncokolele officini. All that happens within seconds. It is repeated at 1217.
Chair, may I check if my learned friend is satisfied now? Thank you. You may proceed, JP.
So, Figelapi, is there any privacy or will we just converse in the office? Then the response to Figelapi is at 2254, my house. Ufigelapi, where is your point of arrival? My house. That's what she says. And then below that, I had asked any privacy. I had asked that at 2254. She says, no, there's no privacy.
JP, can I direct you? I think she's understood you. Now you can go back. You can go to 1218,
Thank
where
you.
you were already at
So-
time 2255, I think.
Thank you. 2254, sawuncokolele officini. We will converse in the office. Then her answer is, it's better that way. And then there's Cambridge closer to Vincent and so on. Some of these conversations simply cross one another. Some appear at a time when they've already been overtaken by some answers.
Yes, JP.
That's all I wanted to explain. But we were at 2255. Hayi uzawuzibamba, you'll restrain yourself or you will, what did you say, Miss Interpreter?
You will control yourself. And I used a couple of other more synonyms that means exactly the same. You'll control yourself. You will hold yourself. Yeah.
Thank you. Then I asked Wena, she says, ndiyakwazi, I am capable of restraining myself or holding myself. Then I had said, which I deleted probably at 2256, I am a touch is a move and move is a bullet. When she then, there's a meme there of somebody peeping. Then at 2257, that is the conclusion of the matter. Of a matter is better than the beginning thereof. This is the conclusion of the matter. Ndiyakwazi, in other words, she says, I can restrain myself. At 2257, I then say, okay, ke. And then I say at 2257, let me oblige. So there's been a discussion. I'm in East London. It's an invitation for us to meet. I say, can we be intimate? The answer is no. I ask, do you want me a friendship? And Kwazi, Andiswa, I'm not going to repeat what has happened, Chairperson. It may sound like a broken LP. But the conclusion of the matter is, let me oblige. This is me talking, 2257. This concludes the East London invite from the complainant. There's no persistence beyond this point about East London. SC, if we're talking about persistence, a notion that you referred to, the context here is simply, we meet, do we go the intimate route? No, we don't go the intimate route. Hey, let's be careful if we do meet, and because physically we may lose control over that, I will restrain myself, let me oblige. That's the conclusion of the matter. So we are at page 1219. Then she says, let me iron my uniform at 2257.